The scene opened backstage at Monday Night Raw, the atmosphere thick with tension. The camera followed Paul Heyman, his signature cell phone pressed to his ear, his face flushed red with frustration. The veins on his forehead pulsed as he barked orders to unseen executives, pacing back and forth like a man on the edge of chaos. The camera slowly zoomed in, catching every bead of sweat on his forehead, every flicker of fear behind those calculating eyes. Heyman's voice cracked with urgency. "You don't understand. He's not just a man, he's a beast. Brock Lesnar doesn't make threats, he makes statements. And Bron Breakker has no idea what he's unleashed." He slammed his phone shut and turned abruptly, only to come face to face with the man he was talking about, Bron Breakker. The young powerhouse stood tall, his muscles flexing beneath his vision-branded jacket, his expression cold and unbothered. The audience watching on the Titantron erupted in cheers as the confrontation unfolded. Breakker smirked, tilting his head slightly. "You look stressed, Paul. Something bothering you?" Heyman's eyes widened slightly. He adjusted his tie, trying to regain his composure. "Stressed? No, my tribal strategist mind is always calculating. But you're playing a dangerous game, Mr. Breakker." Bron crossed his arms. "Dangerous? The only danger around here is me. You know that. Everyone in this locker room knows that." Heyman's voice lowered, filled with both fear and authority. "Bron, listen to me carefully. You may be powerful, you may even believe you've surpassed the boundaries of the vision, but you have provoked something you don't understand." He took a cautious step forward. "Brock Lesnar doesn't forgive. He doesn't forget. When you stole that moment from him, when you stood in his ring, wearing his legacy, you signed your own death warrant." The crowd watching the Titantron gasped audibly. Breakker's jaw tightened, but he didn't flinch. He smirked. "You mean when I outshined your so-called beast? When I did what Brock couldn't, when I broke the limits?" Heyman's expression turned grave. He leaned closer, his tone dark and venomous. "You think this is about ego? About spotlight? No, Mr. Breakker. This is about territory. And in Brock Lesnar's world, you just walked into the lion's den and declared yourself king." Bron chuckled under his breath. "Let me guess, he's angry? He wants revenge?" Heyman's eyes darted from side to side, lowering his voice as though afraid someone might overhear. "You have no idea how angry. Brock Lesnar doesn't talk, he hunts. And when he hunts, he doesn't stop until the prey no longer moves." The tension in the air was suffocating. Breakker's smirk faded slightly, replaced with a glimmer of curiosity. "Tell me something, Paul," Bron said. "If Brock's so unstoppable, then why are you the one here warning me instead of him showing up like a man?" Heyman exhaled sharply, his patience thinning. "Because I'm trying to save you before he does. I've seen what he does to men who think they're indestructible. You remind me of a young Roman Reigns, arrogant, hungry, untested in true pain. And do you know what Brock did to him? He broke him. He conquered him." Breakker stepped closer until their faces were inches apart. The veins in his neck bulged with fury. "I'm not Roman Reigns. I'm not anyone's rookie. I'm the future, and Brock Lesnar's the past. Tell your beast if he wants a fight, he can come find me." The crowd roared at Breakker's defiance. Heyman's jaw clenched. "Do not test me, Bron. I beg you to listen. You don't know the monster you're poking. When Brock decides to end you, there will be no warnings. No cameras. No mercy." He paused, his tone lowering to a whisper. "You may think you're a predator, but to him, you're still prey." Breakker laughed, a deep, confident laugh that echoed through the backstage corridor. He brushed past Heyman, patting him on the shoulder. "Tell your beast that the next time he sees me, he better bring a coffin." As he walked away, the camera stayed focused on Heyman's face, the smile gone, replaced by dread. He muttered under his breath, "Oh my God, he really doesn't understand." The scene shifted later in the night. Heyman was shown again backstage, pacing outside Triple H's office, speaking in hushed tones to producers. Triple H has to stop this before it's too late, Heyman said, clutching his phone. Brock's already on his way here. He's not scheduled, but that never stops him. If Breakker stays in this building tonight, we're going to have a massacre on live television. Kathy Kelly approached cautiously with a microphone. Paul, reports are circulating that Brock Lesnar has arrived at the arena. Can you confirm that? Heyman froze. His lips pressed together in frustration, then he slowly turned to face the camera. Brock Lesnar is not a rumor. He is not a report. He is a reality. And Bron Breakker's reality is about to come crashing down. The camera cut to Bron Breakker in the locker room, cracking his neck, watching Heyman's warning on a monitor. He smirked and muttered, "Let him come." Moments later, security guards sprinted down the hall, shouting, "He's here. Brock's here." The crowd erupted in wild cheers from inside the arena. Heyman's face drained of color. "Oh, no, it's happening," he whispered, backing away as the hallway lights flickered from the force of the commotion. Then came the unmistakable growl of Brock Lesnar's entrance theme echoing faintly through the walls. Heyman shouted to security, "Get him out of the building. I told you what would happen." The camera cut to Bron Breakker walking calmly toward the noise, a defiant smirk still carved across his face. As he rounded the corner, bam! A locker room door flew off its hinges. Brock Lesnar stormed out, wild-eyed, his muscles pulsing with fury. Heyman screamed, "Brock," but it was too late. Lesnar lunged forward, slamming Breakker into a production crate. The two monsters collided in a fury of fists and roars. The hallway shook with the impact. Security rushed in, but both men sent bodies flying. Breakker roared, "You want your title back? Come take it," and speared Lesnar into the wall. The entire backstage area erupted into chaos. Heyman, horrified, yelled at the top of his lungs, "I told you, Bron. I warned you." As officials struggled to separate them, Lesnar threw everyone off and charged again, tackling Breakker through a stack of crates. Sparks flew as cables snapped and equipment collapsed. The camera caught Heyman's trembling hands as he screamed, "Stop this. He's going to kill him." Finally, dozens of security guards swarmed in, dragging both men apart as the crowd in the arena chanted, "This is awesome." Breakker, battered but still grinning, shouted through the chaos, "You hit like a beast, but I hit like the future." Lesnar broke free for a moment, roaring, "You're finished," before being restrained again. Heyman buried his face in his hands, whispering, "It's begun, the war's begun." The screen faded to black with the WWE logo flashing as commentary exclaimed, "If this is just the beginning, there's no telling how far Brock Lesnar and Bron Breakker will go." Paul Heyman's worst fears just came true, the beast has been unleashed. As the show closed, the last words echoed from Heyman, trembling and desperate. "God help Bron Breakker, because Brock Lesnar won't."